Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Owen talks about sports and movies. Thank you for watching today's video. I always appreciate the support. Let's get into it. So today I am going to talk about Hawkeye and give you my review on it. This is the most fun you'll have this Christmas. I really enjoyed this project, and I'm gonna get into why specifically. But make sure you leave your thoughts in the comments below on what you thought of Hawkeye. Did you enjoy it and everything like that? I am going to issue a spoiler alert. I will be going into full detail. I'm going to discuss everything I feel like needs to be discussed. So if you haven't finished it all the way or haven't started, make sure to save this video and come back. With all that being said, let's go. I absolutely loved Hawkeye. Just overall, I really thought this was just a really fun, super funny project. It's super lighthearted. Everything about it is just really fun. It's an easy watch. Um, it's definitely a different take on the street level hero that we've seen maybe in the past with Daredevil and Luke Cage and Jessica Jones and Iron Fist and all the Netflix shows. But I think it's definitely a good take. I think Hawkeye definitely could have. I think this show could have worked with that type of tone, but I'm really glad they went with kind of the more lighthearted tone that they did. The strongest thing about this show, by far and away, is the chemistry between Kate and Clint Barton. The show, to me personally, kind of reinvented Clint as a character, kind of re-energized him. Not necessarily in like a megatonal shift way, but just in a way that makes him more interesting and more likable. And I absolutely love Kate Bishop. Just her journey of being overconfident and arrogant, but skilled, into this more refined, uh, correctly confident, more competent hero who, regardless of what she's facing, is willing to take action and willing to try. And it may not always work out for her, and she definitely goes through her valleys in the show. But Kate always bounced back. And I absolutely love Kate Bishop. Haley Steinfeld absolutely crushed it, and I'm super excited to see Kate continue in the future. Um, I mean, their chemistry, I really think, arguably, is probably the best chemistry we've seen between two MCU characters, and I'm talking Sam and Bucky. Uh, I mean, just Peter Parker and MJ, just anyone that you want to think of, their chemistry and their wittiness and just their connection, I think is honestly just perfect and is what carried the show, is what is the strongest point of the show. I really do think that that is the strongest chemistry we've seen on screen between two MCU characters, and the writing is just good, and they're witty and they're fun and they have their issues, but at the end of the day they pull through, and just watching their bond progress throughout the show is just really excellent. And I think it's the heart and the core of the show, and it's just so good, and I eat it up, and I really think that's why I like this show a lot, is just because I love the chemistry between those two. As far as other people in the show, having Yelena come into the show, it wasn't a surprise, especially after the Black Widow post-credit scene, but that doesn't mean she wasn't a great addition. Her and Kate Bishop's chemistry was great and super funny. They actually ended up being really funny together. The scene where they're talking to each other in Kate's apartment is really good. Their kind of chase fight scene through the Rockefeller building, I think it's the Rockefeller building, whatever building they're running through, was super good. And I thought it was really funny. Yelena's great. I loved Yelena in Black Widow. She's just as funny and just as witty and just as personable in this show as well. Um, I really think another thing this show does well is, honestly, this show does a lot of heavy lifting for contextualizing Natasha Romanoff's backstory. Probably outside of Black Widow, this show does the most heavy lifting for Natasha's character. Watching Clint talk about Natasha and their backstory, and Yelena's just relentless pursuit of Clint because she thinks that Clint killed her sister, and the little secret whistle that Clint knew between Yelena and Natasha and everything like that. All just every little mention or remark of Natasha, like when Clint goes to right before he goes and kills Maya, or goes to kill Maya, or like tells her to stop threatening him and his family. And he goes to the little Avengers Memorial, and he's talking to Nat specifically. I think it really just does a lot of great things for Nat, even though now she's dead, and it just keeps adding to her. And I think Phase 4 has done a good job of that. I just wish they would have done this before, she was dead, uh, in like the timeline, I guess. But that's just a nitpick. The MCU is not perfect. It never has been. It never will be. But I really thought that's another thing the show excelled at, was doing even more heavy lifting for Natasha's character, even though now she's now dead. Love Yelena. I'm super excited to see what project she pops up in next. As far as like antagonistic forces, I would have maybe a problem of having maybe a not super strong villain, but this show is not your typical. Is not the stakes are very low, and so I personally thought the tracksuits were great. The tracksuit mafia was great. I thought they were really really funny, especially just like the henchmen worker people. I thought they were super funny. I thought they were great. I loved that part. Maya, aka Echo, they didn't really show any of her powers that I guess she's supposed to have, or I don't know anything about Echo in the comics or anything like that, but I know she has like some, I think at least has some sound-based powers, and I'm sure they'll get more into that in her Disney Plus series. But I thought Maya was good. She was pretty good. Definitely. There's more room to add on to her character, so she was good. I hated Kazi. You're supposed to. I didn't like Kazi, but I'm not supposed to like him. He's not supposed to be like, he's well written. But I didn't like Kazi. He was annoying. And I'm kind of glad Maya killed him. I'm glad Kazi. And then Kingpin. I'm not gonna say Kingpin should have been introduced earlier because I don't know how that would have benefited the story really. But I don't think Kingpin's dead. They did not explicitly show his body drop to the ground dead when Maya shot at him. So I don't think Kingpin's dead. I don't know how they're gonna go around that. But it was nice to see Kingpin back. Watching him rip doors off, throw Kate Bishop around, just stuff like that was super great. I personally have not seen the Netflix Daredevil show. I'll probably go back and watch it now just because of other things that have been happening in the MCU. But Kingpin was great, and I am not convinced he's dead. I am 100% sure he's still alive. I don't think they would bring him in just to kill him in a Disney Plus series. And so I'm very excited to see him come back, potentially, probably. And I thought he was good in his small role in Hawkeye, and I'm excited to see where he goes from here. So now what we're going to do is we're going to rank all of the episodes, the 6 episodes. We're going to just do a quick rundown, and then we'll wrap this up. So coming in number 6, we got episode 2, Hide and Seek. I really enjoyed every single one of the episodes. This is not one of these shows that I felt like some of the episodes just weren't good. I just feel like the least amount kind of happens in this episode. I thought the LARPing sequence was really, really funny. And I think this is kind of before Clint and Kate really start hitting off on their chemistry. And so I think that's why this one checks in at last. But I really enjoyed the episode. Let's not get it twisted. Coming to number 5, we got the first one. I really, really enjoyed watching Clint and Kate kind of separately. Just kind of what they're up to. The introduction to Kate Bishop I thought was perfect. Watching the alien invasion in New York through her eyes was really kind of horrifying. I think Phase 4 has done a good job of showing previous events through the eyes of other characters, and I think this show also does that very well. And it's just nice to see Clinton interacting with his family and everything like that. And so, while nothing really happens in this episode, I think it's nice to see them separate before they come together, and that's why it's going to come in at number 5. Coming in at number 4, we've got Echoes. So this one we get our introduction to Maya, and this is where I think Kate and Clint's chemistry really starts to turn up. Their escape sequence where they're like chasing through and they're kind of chaotic and just like kind of shooting random arrows at everything. It was really, really good and really fun. And this is just a really solid episode. And I really enjoyed it. So coming in at number 3, really kind of the turning point. Episode 4, Partners, Am I Right? The back half of the show is definitely better than the first half, which is a great thing because the first half was good. So Partners, Am I Right? So in this, Clint and Kate's chemistry is just through the roof. Everything that they end up doing in this episode is really, really good. Watching them do all their like little Christmas activities because Clint's not with his family. I thought that was super thoughtful of Kate, and that really showed how much Kate cares for Clint, which I really, really appreciate, and thought was really, really nice and just awesome. And then the last fight scene was really, really good with Clint and Kate versus Yelena versus Echo, and the reveal that it's Yelena, which I wasn't surprised about, but I thought it was still a good reveal. And Clint's like internal panic of like, oh my gosh, like this is a Black Widow, da 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 da. I thought was really good. Coming in at number 5, we got Ronin. I think this is probably the most intense episode out of all of them. Just from an intensity standpoint, the show really turns it up in this episode. Kate and Yelena's conversation in the kitchen, while funny, is still very, very tension filled. And just kind of the deterioration. There's some breaking up between Kate and Clint's relationship, only to be revealed in the last episode, but we'll get into that in a second. Clint's Ronin Batman-esque takedown of all the tracksuit thugs was really good, and then the revelation of that Kate's mom has been working for the Kingpin and hired Yelena to kill Clint was all really good. And I think this one was a very, very, very good setup for the finale. Coming in at number 1, though, is the finale. So this is Christmas. Just watching Clint and Kate just come together. We've got 5 episodes worth of progression, and then watching them work together perfectly and seamlessly and build those arrows together and label them like Kate said, and just all really, really work together perfectly was just great to watch. Their chemistry is through the roof. Their humor is through the roof on this episode. The final conversation between Yelena and Clint is also super emotional. It's really well done. And then the whole Kingpin thing, I think Maya kind of got a good platform for her personal Disney Plus show, but I really don't think Kingpin's dead. But it was nice to see Kingpin kind of throw around and get in the action. But I really think that this one does a really, really, really good job of wrapping up this season. If there's a season 2, I'm not completely sure, but it did say season finale as opposed to series finale. So who knows? I hope we get more Hawkeye. I would love to see more Clint and Kate, and just these little, just super fun episodes and stuff like this. But the finale was great. Loved it. Overall, I just really, really loved and adored Hawkeye. I thought it was super, super good, super funny, way fun. If you just kind of want to watch something that's super easy and super breezy to watch, definitely check this out. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure you leave your thoughts and comments below. Check out all the linked content above. And you guys have a great day and a Merry Christmas.